Have you ever felt like you're following a script you didn't write? Like your responses, your choices, even your dreams aren't entirely yours? Carl Jung believed that deep beneath the surface of personality lies a structure that shapes how we see, think, feel, and live. This structure isn't random. It's made of patterns, what Jung called psychological functions. And according to him, each of us operates primarily through one of four major functions: thinking, feeling, intuition, and sensation. These aren't traits. They're lenses, ways our consciousness filters reality. But here's the catch. Most people aren't even aware of which function dominates them. And even fewer know which ones they've ignored, suppressed, or rejected entirely. The result? A half-lived life. A fragmented self. Jung's work wasn't about boxing people into categories. It was about showing us what's missing, what we've neglected, what lies dormant, and what must be brought into the light for us to become whole. Let's explore these four types in one uninterrupted journey. Not as rigid boxes, but as doorways into self-understanding. Because the moment we recognize our own blueprint, we stop blaming ourselves for being too much of one thing and not enough of another. We start understanding that these are simply patterns that can be expanded. If you're a thinking type, clarity and consistency are your compass. You value logic over emotion. When faced with conflict, you seek rationality. You want answers that make sense. But in your pursuit of truth, you might forget to ask how truth feels. You might step over softness to maintain structure. Your challenge isn't to stop thinking, it's to start feeling, even when it complicates the logic. If you're a feeling type, connection is everything. You're guided by values, meaning, and emotional integrity. Harmony is sacred, and conflict feels like a wound. But sometimes, your care becomes a cage. You say yes when you mean no. You feel responsible for other people's happiness. Your task is to learn that love doesn't mean losing yourself. If you're an intuitive type, you see behind the curtain. Patterns speak louder than facts. You live in possibility, vision, imagination. But the danger of looking too far ahead is missing where you are now. You may neglect the present moment, the tangible steps, the physical needs of your body and world. Your invitation is to root the vision in something real. If you're a sensing type, you are the anchor. You trust what's observable. You remember details others miss. You find peace in process, in repetition, in grounded living. But sometimes, you resist change. You might dismiss what you can't touch or measure. Your work is to risk the unknown, to listen not just to what's real, but what's possible. Jung taught that none of these functions are better or worse. But the danger lies in over-identifying with one and rejecting the rest. That's where the shadow grows. The parts of us we refuse to own, yet continue to shape us from the dark. Maybe you're rational, but emotionally reactive when under stress. Maybe you're empathetic, but manipulative when you don't feel heard. Maybe you dream big, but sabotage your plans. Maybe you stay grounded, but quietly resent the routine. These contradictions are not flaws. They're signals. They show us what's asking to be integrated. They're not here to shame us. They're guides. Messengers from the unconscious inviting us into greater wholeness. This is the path of individuation, Jung's term for the lifelong journey towards psychological wholeness. Not perfection, not fixing yourself, but making the unconscious conscious, reclaiming every part of who you are. Because your dominant function? It's just one voice in a choir. The goal is to bring the others in, to create harmony, to become someone who isn't ruled by habit or driven by fear, but led by an inner alignment that feels both deeply personal and universally grounded. So how do you begin? Start by noticing. Noticing what you avoid, what you overuse, what you secretly admire in others but feel disconnected from in yourself. Those are your trail markers. They lead to the parts you've abandoned. The qualities you envy in others are often reflections of the gifts you've buried in yourself. Ask yourself, do I dismiss emotion as weakness? Do I avoid conflict even when truth is needed? Do I dream more than I act? Do I resist change even when I feel stuck? Do I find comfort in routine but secretly long for freedom? Your honest answers won't just tell you who you are. They'll show you who you could become. Because growth doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means reclaiming what was always yours. You are not a type. You are not a diagnosis. You are not your coping mechanisms. You are the thinker and the feeler. You are the dreamer and the builder. You are the logic and the longing. And the more you bring all of these into awareness, the less life feels confusing, contradictory, or chaotic. You begin to recognize your patterns. You start to soften into your own depth. And eventually, you stop performing. You start living. The beauty of Jung's framework is that it doesn't stop at labeling. It invites evolution. Once you know your dominant function, you begin the deeper work, integrating your inferior function, the part of you that feels most foreign but holds immense potential. Thinking types learn to embrace emotion. Feeling types learn to make space for detachment. Intuitive types learn to trust the moment. Sensing types learn to imagine the impossible. This isn't a theory to memorize, it's a mirror to step into. And when you do, you'll begin to see not only who you are, but who you're capable of becoming. So the next time you catch yourself reacting in the same way, stop. Ask, what part of me is speaking right now? And who else inside me needs a voice? Because wholeness isn't found in being consistent. It's found in being complete. This isn't just a personality framework. It's a map of your mind. And it leads to the most powerful discovery of all.